Hello, my name is Nathanson. I'm a child therapist and founder of ConfidentChildren.co.uk. I wanted to share with you an activity that has many benefits, including potentially increasing the quality of your and your children's lives by physically impacting the brain. I'll elaborate on this later on in this video. This activity involves getting together as a family every evening for 10 to 15 minutes before bedtime and getting some coloured paper like this. Any colour will do. And each person writes on the top of one of the pieces of paper, very small, the date and something positive that happened today, something good that happened today, or something that they are grateful for. The child might write, "Today I went to the park with my friend Sarah, it was really fun," for example. Or, "I'm really grateful that I played a game with my brother." So anything positive, anything good. Children may require a bit of prompting to begin with. So once you've done that, you cut out that positive thing and you end up with a square like this. And then you fold it up. Once it's folded, you put it into an empty jam jar. Each person needs to have an empty jam jar. Of course, if more than one positive thing has happened today, make as many of these as you want. As the month goes on, your jar will fill up and you'll have something that looks like this. At the end of the month, you get some coloured card like this, and you glue down all those positive things that have happened in that month. So it'll be like a collage. You may need more than one piece of coloured card per month if lots of positive things have happened, or if your child has really big writing, that's absolutely fine. And then you hole punch a coloured card and put a treasury tag and make like a booklet of positive things. Eventually, you'll have something that looks like this. This is purely for demonstration purposes, but I've written Lucy's Yearbook 2014. And inside you'd have all the months filled up with all those positive things that have happened in that month. Children will be very creative with this and will no doubt want to add glitter, stickers, or draw some pictures to make it look really attractive. So that's the activity that has many benefits. First of all, this activity is quick, easy and cheap. It doesn't require many materials and it only takes 10 to 15 minutes every evening. The second reason I really like this activity is because it promotes quality family time. Everybody gets together and reflects on their day, and this can really increase a family's bond. Thirdly, this activity incorporates writing. Children will be writing but for fun rather than to complete schoolwork, and this can really increase positive feelings about writing. Fourthly, this activity increases general mindfulness. I think it's really important for us as individuals to pause and reflect on our days and just think how the day went, and this is something we very rarely do. This helps both adults and children to gain perspective. A really big benefit of this activity is that it can develop new neural pathways in the brain. The brain has brain plasticity, which means it's adaptable. The thoughts we think and the behaviours we take part in actually have a physical impact on the brain. If somebody is negative all the time, they develop a negative neural pathway, which means that their automatic response or habit is negativity. On the other hand, we can train our brains to think more positively and have a positive automatic response. If we consistently take part in activities that promote positive thinking, like the activity we're discussing today, a new positive neural pathway will develop within the brain, and you'll start having a more positive outlook on life in general. Not only does this activity promote positive thinking, but it also promotes appreciation. We so often go through life forgetting to appreciate those little things in our lives that make our life special. In the example earlier, if a child wrote, "I'm so grateful that I played a game with my brother," this would draw the child's attention to this being something to be grateful for, which they may otherwise overlook. After a while, an appreciation neural pathway will develop in the brain, and the child will automatically appreciate the little things in their life. Having a positive outlook on life and appreciating the little things has so many benefits, but mainly it makes a person happier and increases feelings of well-being. So this simple activity, which takes only 15 minutes a day, can really increase your and your child's quality of life. To give you an analogy to explain neural pathways a bit clearer, if you imagine you've always lived in a hut in a forest, and from your hut there are various different pathways, and each pathway leads to something different. So one pathway leads to food and one pathway leads to water, for example. And everything you need is at the end of each particular pathway. So you're walking down one pathway one day and you notice in the distance behind the trees another hut. and you can't believe it because you've never noticed this hut before. But it requires you to get off of your pathway to get to that hut. So for the first time ever, you step off of your pathway. There's lots of grass and greenery, and it's quite hard to get to the hut. But because you are determined and persistent, you trample through the grass and eventually you manage to get to the hut. In the hut, there are lots of books about interesting things you've never heard of. There is, however, a note on the door that says, "Spend as much time as you want in this hut, but please do not take any of the books out of this hut." So you spend a lot of time and then it's time to leave. So you leave the books and you return back the way you came, back to your original pathway and walk back home. So you come back every day to the hut, and originally there was no pathway leading to the hut, but because you've walked the same route every day from your pathway to the hut, a pathway begins to develop. The grass actually starts to make a path, and it's the exact same thing with your brain. If you've never thought positive thoughts, at the start it's quite hard to get to those positive thoughts and feelings because your brain has never been there, like it was originally hard to get to the hut. But if you practice going there, your brain develops a pathway, and soon your instant reaction to things that happen in your life will be positivity. The last thing I want to mention is, as a result of this activity, you and your child will have documented your whole year. It's like writing a diary, but quicker and easier. Our memory does fade, and we forget all those good things that have happened to us. So a child will look back at this book and remember all the great things that have happened to them, which is something invaluable to have. I hope you liked this video. If you have a question about your child that you'd like me to answer, please send it in via my website, confidentchildren.co.uk, or via the Confident Children Facebook page. Both links are below this video. The link to my recent article, 5 Tips to Help Young Children Overcome Shyness, is also below this video. Have a lovely week.